Arthur is a rich, lonely loser whose life is threatened by his enemies. But everything changes when he hires a robot girl to protect him without realizing that she's actually human, and he starts falling in love with her. The tale begins with the heir of a big conglomerate, Arthur, receiving his butler in his office. The butler shows up with a pink-haired girl, whom he says is a robot named Marie. Apparently, after several trials, they were able to finally create a real robot that Arthur has been asking for. Arthur is impressed to see this, and he is even more blown away by how real the robot is. Even with how real the robot looks, Arthur deduces that he has to take a closer look before he makes his conclusion. Suddenly, the clock in the room explodes, leaving a cloud of smoke. Arthur's assistant rushes over to check on him, but thankfully, he didn't sustain any injury. Arthur is scanning the room to know what happens when something great catches his eye. He realizes that Marie didn't flinch or even make a move during the course of the explosion. Arthur is completely blown away, but just as he is about to start saying what he feels, he spots the cleaner walking past. He stops her because the cleaner was the one who swapped the clock. The guards waste no time grabbing her and dragging her, while she begs, telling them that she was told to do it. Arthur dives into Professor X's abilities to start pointing to assassins that have been stationed around to terminate him. Arthur's guards swoop into action and start subduing all of the assassins. Momentarily, a flower is sent to Arthur, but even this has a knife concealed in it, just to make sure that Arthur dies. This is the reason Arthur hates humans, because he believes that they are greedy and will hurt others for their own desires. To avoid dealing with humans is why he trusts inorganic items. Basically, Arthur is resented by everyone in the family because he is an illegitimate child who ended up becoming the heir. The hatred is the reason why his life is in constant danger. Marie remains standing in the room, and Arthur frantically talks about how much he hates liars and would do anything to wipe them out. Unknown to him, Marie is not actually a robot, but a girl who was a martial arts prodigy. Her parents' debts were paid off, which is why she took on the risky job of pretending to be a robot maid. Just then, Arthur asks to be alone with a maid, and this scares Marie because she fears that no matter how inhumane she appears to be, Arthur is going to see through her. Arthur walks up to her, and her life flashes before her eyes because she is dead meat if Arthur finds out. However, she remains stiff enough to convince Arthur that she is actually a real robot maid. Arthur's personality immediately changes as he starts dancing like a kid because he finally has what he has been looking for. The next day, the butler, who is the only one aware of Marie's real identity, tells Marie that she needs to start escorting the young master to the academy because his life is in danger. Marie hungrily munches on the sandwich being prepared by the butler because she doesn't get to eat until Arthur is in the bathroom. She eats all of her portion and ends up running off with the butler's sandwich like a hungry raccoon. The butler hopes that Marie will stay safe because they are so dead if Arthur finds out that Marie is what he hates the most. When it is time for school, the driver ends up coming late by just under a second, but he receives a good scolding from the young master. On their way to school, Arthur tells Marie about his schedule, and he begs her to act like a human so that she can escort him to school. Marie agrees to this, and while she is alone, she unintentionally runs into two dudes, and she immediately apologizes. However, the two don't think of accepting the apology immediately as they start trash-talking Marie about how she looks like a robot. Marie is not pissed about it, since she has been hearing this since she was a child. Her mother was always scolding her for being an emotionless child, and Marie is in the middle of the standoff when Arthur shows up. The two dudes see Arthur and waste no time running off. Marie thanks Arthur for the assist, and he pats her on the head, telling her that he finds his emotionless face very cute. Marie manages to conceal how happy she is about this remark because it is basically the first time she has received such. Later that day, Arthur holds a meeting with his brother, Maynard. Arthur and Maynard exchange nice greetings on the surface, but deep down, they are hurling curses at each other. Maynard wants Arthur to just disappear so he can be the heir instead, and it turns out that he is part of those who have been sending assassins after Arthur. Marie can easily deduce the telepathic conversation between the two, and she concludes that the two are very close, even though Maynard is always looking for ways to send Arthur to the afterlife. Maynard claims he wants to use the bathroom, and once he leaves the room, he starts venting his frustration about how he has failed to eliminate his brother. Unknown to him, Marie is standing behind him, and Maynard almost craps his underwear when Marie reveals her presence. Maynard asks her who she is, and she simply reveals that she is a robot maid. Maynard moves closer to confirm, and just like Arthur, he believes that Marie is inhumane. Marie then tells Maynard that she can do some humane things, like smiling. She gives Maynard a demonstration by smiling like a horror figure, scaring the dude away. Later on, Marie enters Arthur's room only to be hit with a special request from Arthur. He asks to lie on her lap, and she agrees to this. While lying on her lap, he reveals his intention to get stronger because he has no one and everyone else is against him. Surprisingly, Marie assures him that he can count on her. She lets him know that no matter what happens, she is going to remain his companion. Arthur's face lights up in hope and relief when he hears this. He thanks Marie for the assurance, and he sleeps off on the girl's lap. Basically, Marie has grown close to Arthur, and she aims to protect him just the way he protected her. However, she is still stuck with lying to him. Some days later, Arthur prepares to attend a lecture slated for 2 hours in the evening. Momentarily, the cab to take him to the event arrives. Without hesitation, Arthur steps into the car, and it drives off, but Marie remains at home. Literally seconds after the first car left, another car shows up, with the driver saying he is there to pick Arthur up. The butler panics when he sees this, but when he turns around, Marie has disappeared. Marie has sensed that something is wrong and is chasing after the car just like a regular robot would. It turns out that Maynard is behind Arthur's kidnapping and Arthur has been restrained in the car. Maynard laughs, saying he finally lost his cool because of Arthur's annoying maid. Maynard tells Arthur that he should have been careful when picking his maid, and that he will get another chance because he is about to terminate him. Suddenly, Marie appears on top of the car, and she calmly tells Arthur that she has come to retrieve him. Maynard panics, and he tells the driver to step on the gas because Marie is a robot. The driver turns the car left and right as fast as he can just to get Marie off, and he succeeds in doing this. Marie jumps off the car but doesn't stop her chase. Momentarily, Arthur finds himself in a warehouse, where Maynard plans to finish him off. Even though he is about to die, Arthur is still worried about Marie. Maynard laughs hysterically because he is pretty sure that Marie was torn to shreds when she was shaken off the car. Arthur lets Maynard know that he is never going to forgive him for wishing harm on Marie, but Maynard mocks him for acting all cool with the robot. Maynard is enjoying the moment until he suddenly hears his voice playing in the background. This is a recording of him threatening to terminate Arthur. This catches his attention, and he orders his men to search Arthur's belongings. They find a phone in his pocket, shocking Maynard. He asks Arthur when he recorded the conversation, and Arthur reveals the surveillance device attached to his suit. Arthur lets him know that the file has been uploaded to the cloud, and he reminds him of what would happen if the video were released. Maynard automatically decides to pull out, and he runs out of the warehouse, claiming that he is stepping out to check something, leaving his subordinates with Arthur. The two are preparing to terminate Arthur when Marie shows up in the room to swiftly dispatch the assassins. The two manage to escape from the warehouse with their lives, but are forced to run since the car is gone. Marie releases Arthur from his restraints, but before they can start celebrating, the gasoline that was poured on the floor during the tussle with the assassins catches fire thanks to a cigarette remnant. This leaves the two trapped, but Marie starts looking for a passageway because Arthur is running out of breath. She finds an outlet close to the roof, and she tells Arthur that she is going to help him up, but she won't be able to escape. Arthur doesn't want Marie to sacrifice herself for him, but realizing that she might die, she finally decides to tell Arthur how she truly feels. Marie lets Arthur know that she is happy whenever she is around Arthur, but then she assures him that she is going to survive the fire because she is a robot. She lets Arthur know that she can always reboot. Having heard this, Arthur allows Marie to push him out of the building, while she remains trapped inside. Marie eventually passes out because of the smoke, but when she wakes up, she finds herself in the manor with Arthur beside her. It turns out that Arthur called his butler to help save Marie, and he arrived just in time to do so. Suddenly, Arthur tells Marie that he has a question to ask her. Marie and the butler almost fainted when they heard this because they knew the obvious question that he wanted to ask. Surprisingly, Arthur decides to hold back the question and just continues playing along with whether Marie is human or a robot. Up next, Arthur makes arrangements to receive several rich dignitaries at his mansion because he is hosting a garden party. Arthur tells Marie that the party is very important because his father left the hosting to him while he is away on business. Realizing how crucial the party is, Marie assures Arthur that she is going to do everything to remove any suspicious entity that might want to ruin the party. However, Arthur let her know that he had a more important task for her. She asks about the said task, and to her surprise, Arthur wants her to get rid of all the green peppers because he doesn't like them. Momentarily, two family members, Carl and Charlotte, show up at the gathering, and Arthur relates to them very well, leaving Marie confused since she believes that the entire family has a beef with Arthur. However, the butler, Roy, tells her that the two are on Arthur's side. During the conversation, Charlotte tells Arthur that she can clearly see he has something good going because he looks happier. She asks to know about it, and Arthur gladly introduces his aunt to the beautiful robot maid that he just got. Charlotte decides to take a closer look at Marie, and when Marie realizes that the lady is staring at her for too long, she assumes that she's been caught. To prevent the lady from suspecting anything, Roy drags Marie out of there, telling her that it is time for her to do the dishes. Marie shows how strong and capable she is by moving a bulk load of trays at the same time. She also does this with glass cups, just to try and sell the idea that she is a real robot. Charlotte's cat almost breaks the glasses, but Marie easily grabs the cat, thus leaving everyone impressed. While she is also in charge of security, she is walking around getting rid of green pepper just like Arthur wanted. Moments later, Marie finds a strange man trying to infiltrate the house, and she knocks him out with a kick to the head. She figures out that the dude might not be the only intruder, and she decides to scan the mansion for any hidden danger. As she walks through the mansion halls, someone suddenly appears behind her and tries to attack her. But she reacts and subdues the person, only for the person to be her master. She moves him into his chambers, where she allows him to sleep on her lap. Arthur reveals how exhausting it is for him to host the garden party. To make him feel better, she strokes his hair, and suddenly, Arthur gets up to grab her. He moves closer to her body as if he wants to lock lips with her, and then he thanks her. Marie blushes hard, and to prevent herself from being overwhelmed, she stands up to leave, telling Arthur that he is free to return to the party, since he appears to have recovered. Arthur tries to get her to stay with him a bit longer, but she informs Arthur that she has been programmed to attend to more party-related tasks. She leaves the room, and, unknown to her, she is already under suspicion from Charlotte and her annoying cat. Marie returns to the party, not acting like herself because of the short moment she spent with Arthur. She breaks a glass cup while trying to handle it, and even spills water on Roy. Roy is pissed at her clumsiness and tells her to leave the party area. Marie leaves the scene dejectedly and scolds her incompetence, believing that she is essentially going to cause problems for Arthur if she continues the way she is. While walking through the garden maze, she finds an intruder planting a bomb, which is meant to take Arthur out. Without delay, Marie goes after the dude and gives him a nice beat up before collecting the detonator from him and smashing it. Marie doesn't stop there, and she angrily kicks the dude through the garden maze, causing him to fall into the party area. The guests panic at the sight of this, and before Marie realizes it, she has everyone staring at him. The guests scream at her, saying she has gone rogue, while also calling her a menace. Marie crashes to the ground in utter disappointment, believing that she just ruined the party. Just then, Arthur appears behind her and grabs her, while telling the guests not to panic because Marie simply took care of an intruder, trying to blow them to smithereens. The perspective of the guests immediately changes, and they start clapping for her. Charlotte and Carl are most impressed by the amount of trust that Arthur has in his maid. Meanwhile, Maynard is on the roof, cursing at Marie for ultimately ruining his plans to send Arthur 6 feet under. However, he is still determined to continue going after Arthur until he gets rid of him. After the party that night, Marie changes out of her maid's outfit and wears a beautiful dress to meet with Arthur on the balcony. Marie apologizes for ruining the party, but he assures her that she did an impressive job because she even got rid of the green peppers. As their conversation continues, Arthur suddenly asks her what she is running on, and trying not to fumble, she replies that she is running on double A batteries. Arthur, competing to be the most gullible man, ultimately believes her lie. Just then, he drags her closer and pecks her on the forehead. This catches her off guard, and she pushes Arthur away before running into the greenhouse to think about what just happened. She believes that Arthur has figured out that she is human, and while she is panicking, Roy is watching from a safe distance. The next morning, Marie tries to act cool while resuming her duties, but she serves Arthur his food, and he greets her, and she finds it difficult to reply. Arthur notices this and gets the urge to ask her if she is human, but he holds this back so he can confirm by making Marie lose her cool. He tries touching her again, but she jumps off to put some distance between them. Arthur is not ready to back down as he continues following Marie everywhere and touching her just to get her reaction. Marie has also figured this out, and she starts trying to avoid Arthur, but he doesn't give her any breathing space. She even tries to put him off by acting like a proper robot, but this doesn't bode well for her. Momentarily, Roy calls Marie into his office and fires her. Marie asks why she is being fired, and Roy reveals that Arthur has been onto her, and if they are not careful, he is going to find out. However, Roy assures her that he is going to take care of everything she needs, but he needs her gone. Marie tries to convince him, but he lets her know that Arthur has grown fond of her, and it will be hard for her to keep the lie going. To properly get rid of her, Arthur has found a replacement for her. He introduces her to a supposed improved robot, which he conveniently names Marie 2. Moments later, Arthur meets Marie 2, and even though she possesses some really lethal equipment at her disposal, he is not entirely impressed. Marie, on the other hand, is sad about leaving, but she has no choice. Marie 2 places Arthur on her lap and tries acting like the original Marie, but almost turns Arthur deaf by blasting loud music in his ears. This further adds to Arthur's disinterest, and when Marie is about to leave, she tells Roy that she is going to return the maid outfit because she can't hold on to what will bring back painful memories for her. Just then, Arthur steps out of the house and reveals his surprise that Marie is being discarded. Arthur lets Marie know that he won't be satisfied with any other maid. Out of nowhere, Marie 2 steps out of the house and deems Marie a threat. A fight breaks out between them, and in the course of the fight, Marie 2 gets the advantage. Just as she is about to finish Marie off, Arthur jumps in and gets hit instead. This pisses Marie off and angrily crushes Marie 2 with a powerful kick, telling her that she is not fit to be a maid protecting Arthur. Arthur then runs over to Marie and he carries her, telling her that he would like her to stay by his side forever. Later on, Marie finds out that Marie 2 has been put together, and she also got an upgrade to her software and hardware. Roy then tells her that she will be working together with Marie 2 to properly protect Arthur. Up next, Marie and Marie 2 work hand in hand to subdue 2 assassins sent by no one else but Maynard. Maynard rages in his office when he realizes that his assassins have failed him yet again. Later on, Marie 2 leaves for a charging session, giving Marie and Arthur the chance to be alone together. Arthur then whips out a double battery, since Marie claimed that this is her source of energy. He urges her to charge herself, and in an attempt to keep the lie going, Marie puts the battery in her mouth. As gullible as ever, Arthur believes that Marie is already charging. Sometime later, Roy tells Arthur to take some time off, since he appears to be stressed out. Arthur uses this suggestion to the best of his knowledge, and he tells Marie to turn on girlfriend mode if there is something like that. Realizing that she has no choice, Marie and Arthur step out together on a date. Marie tries to keep the act by telling Arthur that she loves him to the moon and back. This blows his mind, and he tells her to call him by his name instead of using formalities. Marie agrees to this, and she figures out that she needs to act like regular couples do if she wants to sell the idea that she is truly a girlfriend. Marie spots a couple in the distance and tries to act like them, but she almost breaks Arthur's arm in the process. After this, the two settle down to take ice cream. Marie feeds him ice cream, and when it is Arthur's turn to feed her, he pushes a battery into her mouth. Those who are watching are horrified to see this, and they assume that the two are one crazy humans who need help. Marie and Arthur continue following the innocent couple just to get the idea of how regular couples behave. Arthur then spots some boats parked at the riverside, and he suggests that they go boating, but Marie reminds him that she is a robot. Deep down, she is actually a very bad swimmer, but as usual, Arthur believes that she is going to break down if she enters the water. Arthur almost loses his senses just at the thought of Marie getting shipped away because she broke down. Marie sees the couple giving each other gifts, and in trying to reciprocate this, she grabs a leaf and presents it to Arthur. Instead of getting mad, Arthur actually appreciates the gift, saying it came from her heart, which is the most important thing. The two continue walking through the park, and when Arthur notices that the other couples are holding hands, he asks to hold Marie's hand, too. Marie has no choice but to hold hands with him. But while everyone is happy, Marie is worried that she might never be Arthur's because she is a mere worker, and they are only pretending. That night, the two make their way to the church, and Arthur tells Marie that his parents usually come to the church. Arthur mentions that his parents have loads of memories to remember at the church. Just then, Arthur asks Marie if he can lock lips with her, and this almost sends her into a coma since she was caught off guard. However, she knows that she can't reject the request, since she is currently playing the girlfriend role to Arthur. Just as he is about to peck her on the lips, Marie notices something shining at the top of the church. This helps her to quickly react to the incoming knife attack, and she pushes Arthur out of the way. Marie immediately switches her attention to where the attacker is, and she tells Arthur to stay where he is, while she deals with the attacker. Marie arrives at the rooftop to find the assassin, Noah, waiting for her. A standoff ensues between the two, and Noah asks Marie if she is Arthur's girlfriend, but Marie says no, mentioning that she is nothing but his attendant. Marie runs toward Noah, aiming to hit him, but Noah is pretty slick, and he dodges her attacks easily. Noah then tells Marie that she can only pretend, but he knows the truth. Marie continues going after him, while mentioning that her business with Arthur is none of his business. Just then, Marie hears Arthur's voice, and this distracts her. Noah then uses the opportunity to show what he is capable of by reaching Marie at a really great speed. Once he is behind her, he tells her that everything she is doing with Arthur is his business because he has fallen in love with her. Noah then pushes her off the rooftop, but just before she hits the ground, Arthur catches her. Marie immediately resumes her robot lie, apologizing to Arthur for messing up her girlfriend and bodyguard duty. Arthur doesn't take offense whatsoever, and he even pecks her on the cheek. He then tells her that he is going to peck her properly the next time she enters girlfriend mode. Marie quickly lies, saying the girlfriend mode consumes too much energy, and she can't use it often. This shatters Arthur's heart, and he immediately calls Roy to come and pick them up in the car. In class the next day, Marie is still thinking about Noah when he suddenly enters the class, and he is introduced as the new transfer student. This shocks her to the bones, but unknown to her, Noah is actually working for Maynard. Marie runs out of her class, thinking of warning Arthur before things go south. However, Noah ambushes her on the way, and the two engage in a fight again. This time, Noah easily overwhelms Marie while talking about how much he loves her. Marie immediately realizes that she is dealing with a freaking psychopath. Noah takes things even further when he mentions that he has a present for Marie. Noah whips out every background information that he has on Marie, clearly showing that he knows about her lies. Marie finds herself in a bind, and she is forced to ask Noah what it is that he wants. Noah smiles, saying he only wants them to get along. Suddenly, Arthur arrives on the scene, looking all pissed off, and he demands to know what Noah is doing with his maid. Noah quickly reminds Marie of the pictures and information he has with him. To avoid exposure, Marie lies to Arthur, telling him that she is only trying to be a friend to Noah. This only makes Arthur angrier, and he demands a duel. The condition is that whoever wins gets to keep Marie. Without too much argument, Noah agrees to this. Just then, some of the school scientists are seen chasing down 7 research chickens that got loose. This is when Noah suggests that they round up the chickens, and whoever catches more will be considered the winner of their duel. Arthur agrees to this, and Marie heaves a sigh of relief, believing that Arthur has a chance to win. Arthur swings into action, and thanks to his loving demeanor, he is able to easily grab 3 chickens. Marie asks to help him, but he refuses, saying that he wants to be the one to protect her this time around. Noah, on the other hand, has told his female friends to call him if they spot any chicken. Noah spots 3 chickens, but unlike Arthur, he uses force to grab the chickens. Momentarily, they find themselves standing over the last chicken, which will decide the winner. The chicken then makes a run for it, and Marie realizes that Arthur is going to lose if she doesn't do something to help. Marie then climbs a tree branch to help Arthur spot the chicken, but she falls off in the process, and she crashes into the nearby pond. Arthur has the chance to grab the chicken, but he ignores it and jumps into the water to save his maid, who can't swim. Arthur pulls her out of the water like a knight in shining armor. Even though she appears to be knocked out, Arthur subtly tells her that he needs her. Marie finally opens her eyes, reminding Arthur of his challenge. Just then, Noah shows up with a last chicken in hand, and everyone starts praising him for winning the challenge. However, Noah rejects the crown, saying Arthur actually won because he gave up the fight to save his maid. Later on, Noah falls ill with a cold, and he ends up being the one needing proper care. Thanks for watching till the end, and comment Marie is cool.